Hi, hello, and welcome to what I'm calling 11-11-11. Now it's 11-11, and it has special significance, but I'm going to tell you about it later. I am broadcasting from hopeMORE page in honor of a fundraising effort for my mentor and ground floor supporter of hopeMORE. And I want to talk about movies that matter and my mentor, Sharon Tomlinson. So listen, I know a few people are going to join and I want to share this more. It is 11-11 and I want it to start. So I want you to check out this, which was a film that was shot as a web series as a precursor to a pilot for a television show that was executive produced by Sharon Tomlinson. If you haven't, check out the fundraiser, GoFundMe fundraiser on hopeMORE page, Facebook page, and I'll talk to you a little soon. 11-11-11, Moviethon for Sharon. And I'll explain a little bit more in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Okay, that was a funky countdown. I should have counted down. But let's check out Just Divorce.
I'm the worst. Absolutely the worst.
If you're referring to the check you bounced on me last month, cash.
I'm talking about that. I'm talking about my happiness, Doc. You know, there's no hope for me. Give me that propofol and let me sleep.
Yeah, that worked great for Michael Jackson.
Huh?
You're being far too dramatic, Mary.
My whole life is a drama. One bad scene after the other. Act 1. My first husband, we went into it working together as equals. Partners?
We are not partners.
How can you say that?
You treat our home like it's the Starship Enterprise. You're the captain. I'm a crew member from extra cast and been killed off before the first commercial.
You are such a geek, okay? It is not that bad.
It's horrible. You try to control everything I do. Everything. Hell, you even tell me how to hold myself when I pee. I got see what I'm saying? Damn. Really?
He would leave little droplets on the seat.
Directed husband's dangling. Now,
Did you just write dangling?
I'm old school. Now, were you as controlling with your second husband?
Oh, Cindy?
Yeah.
Preacher, I learned by that time to let a man be a man. And he knew how to handle things. Except in the bedroom. He was hesitant.
And how would you describe yourself?
He called me a
freak. Woman, thy desires of the flesh are off the chain.
Is that in the Bible? Because I thought you were the first lady in church with the adventure of a freak and then.
Adventure is one thing. Craziness is another. When I signed on the line, on the dotted line, after I did not sign up for whips. Oh, no. I did not sign up for blindfolds. Oh, no. Or chains, or lording me, some trapeze swinging from on high for love-making sessions with my wife. That's when I raised my hands and cried aloud, are we a married couple or a circus act? That can only take so much. Trapeze. Really?
It was a home version. I saw it on TV after a P90X commercial.
And your third husband?
Oh, well, he brought way too much baby mama drama. He spoiled those kids way too much.
And you felt the love for you wasn't there.
It's gone. Okay, it's all gone. You let him take everything, and now it's ruined. Our planned trip to the Bahamas and Japan, and you let him take it all for what?
For the last time, my soul surviving son is near suicide because his mother is on her second round of chemo. And soon he'll be going into the army. And this is the last summer that we'll have before he graduates. So for the umpteenth time, do you see why we need to postpone our trip?
You can't Skype him from Japan.
Did he end up spending the time with his son?
I had to sacrifice shopping in Japan so he can go to Waffle House and have breakfast. I mean, what is this world coming to?
I didn't know about that myself. But you are married now.
No. Now the fourth husband? Done. Finalized. We just finalized our divorce. Now this one? Caught me way off guard.
How could you not see the writing on the walls? We argued all the time.
Those were discussions.
We slept in separate bedrooms.
Because you're smart.
You had an affair.
He was a friend.
Now, I had an affair.
You like whores.
That's right.
All our Facebook friends told us to change our profiles to widowed.
Opinions of a few.
Try 1,730. If they could see it, how could you not see that we were headed for divorce? But Stevie Wonder's not that blind.
Unlike you, William, I believe in marriage. And I don't appreciate you bringing Stevie Wonder into this discussion. You know, he's a musical genius, but he knows nothing about marriage.
Marilyn, you're absolutely right.
About marriage?
No, that Stevie Wonder is a genius. I've got all his albums. I just called to say I love you. I just called to say I care. Aside from the marriage talk, I believe in a full, happy life.
And me too. And after every divorce, I usually can shift momentum and become invigorated. But this time, my life is dumb. My life is stagnant. I'm a train without tracks. I'm an actor on an empty stage. I'm empty, aching, yearning for something more.
Maybe you should take up a hobby. Running, sewing, demolition.
No. Forgive me. I'm on a tantrum here.
I couldn't tell. Not the Bill Clinton! Maybe you should take some meds.
No! I need renewal. I need inspiration. I need
Cleaning service.
This is it. My vision. This is my new beginning.
A picture of hope.
No. It's what Oprah had from the very beginning. What fueled her, what gave her joy, and what gave her peace.
$1 billion buys a lot of peace.
It's a TV show.
Yeah, but what TV show?
Yes, a TV show. Maybe marriage, in the traditional sense, is just not for me. Maybe I don't need love from just one, but of millions. Millions vibing with me on every day, sharing our lives and our laughs and our tears and everything. We're on TV.
The television is a big production. This is a little bit unorthodox.
I know it doesn't make sense. And I gotta go. I'm late for my next session. I run a therapy support group.
Therapy? You? For who?
Oh, recent divorcees. They're nutcases. They're like whack jobs. But, you know, I'm there. I thought to be the sanity in their lives. But don't worry, Doc. Stay tuned. You'll be seeing me.
Wow, that was so much fun. Wow. That is so much fun. Okay, we're gonna stop that. So, wow, okay. For those of you who just joined me, this is, wait a minute. This is an opportunity for me to support a fundraiser for mentor and ground level supporter of hopeMORE, my production opportunity to the world. But my mentor and close friend, Sharon Tomlinson, I am in support of a GoFundMe a GoFundMe. I can't talk. I'm a little tired. A GoFundMe in support of expenses related to her treatment of stage 4 cancer. And listen, I wanted to get a co-host with me today, but she's going to have to come on later. But what I wanted to do, as you just seen, is showcase her influence in my life. Now, what I don't have is not just a co-host, but a lot of makeup on today or anything because I was in court. But what I wanted to do in advertising and sharing is like to talk about what type of things that Sharon Tomlinson has blessed me to understand. And one of that is the beauty of filmmaking. And so today I've been calling, not just today, but it's scheduled, is Movies That Matter. I'm getting a question here. Movies That Matter. That this is the beginning of what will be a movie-thon. But just so you know, we will not be starting a bunch of movies that will go for 24 hours today. But I should call it more of a preview of a movie-thon for Sharon. I call it 11-11-11 because Sharon's film company is called Studio 11 Films, as well as I was a participant in an 11-11-11 project in which I met Sharon for the first time as a participant of her writer-producer program. I wanted to be a showrunner, and she taught me how to do that. My season was the second season, and we focused on TV series. And the season prior to mine, the first season, focused on filmmaking, and 11 short films were made. In fact, I will never forget being in Atlanta, Georgia, going to the Bronze Limb Festival and watching these 11 short films that I believe were completed close to 11 weeks by 11 mentors and a number of groups that work together. On one film, they may be a director. On another film, they may be doing costumes. And she was so enthusiastic. And I'm like, ooh, I want to be a part of that. So I joined on and became one of the writer-producers in the TV season. And during that time, I met Avery Williams, who's one of our instructors. We worked and broke down what sitcoms were. And Just Divorced was actually patterned after the idea of a sitcom. And as you see, that myself and Avery Williams were the writer of Just Divorced. We actually shot 2 episodes. And it has won actually an award for Best Web Series. So we were really excited about that. The reason why I'm coming on is because not only do I want to celebrate this week art, which was a part of my virtual celebration of Juneteenth, or hopeMORE's virtual celebration of Juneteenth, where every letter in virtual was expounded upon. So last week, V was Vote Monday. I was Invest Tuesday. R was Restore Wednesday. Teach Thursday. Unite Friday. Art Saturday, and Love Sunday. Well, there was so much going on Saturday that my desire was to give art a little bit more time to breathe. So yesterday I posted Casmay out of New Orleans, who's a total NOLA queen, her performance at the House of Blues, and you can catch that feed. And also asking you guys to hit donate and support her independence as an artist doing great things. And that's on the hopeMORE page. And today I wanted to promote Movies That Matter that came under Studio 11 Films, where I was a participant of the 11-11-11 project. And I'm also proud to say I continue work with them, even though I'm in Florida and officially still one of the consultants for business and legal. So my interest went from being a program participant to me joining Blueprint, which was an acting group that Sharon Tomlinson, as also a filmmaker, started. She actually started that first. So there was a number of great people like the star in this show, Cecily Ash, who was the professor, Lord, the acting coach there. And then I became a part of the staff of Studio 11 Films. And although we've been on a little bit of a hiatus in the last few years, there were a number of roads for independent film that was made. And the phrase making movies that mattered was coined. So I just wanted to get on here, and I scheduled it to happen yesterday. Then I had to reschedule it for today because I wanted it to start at 11/11/11, which are numbers that mean a lot to Sharon. Those are like her good luck numbers. But also I wanted to support this awesome effort to help with the expenses that have been attached to Sharon's treatment for stage 4 cancer. She has a wonderful husband, Damien, and a wonderful son, DJ, and we want to assist in that. I think this is the second fundraising effort. So as I have been doing with Justice, I did yesterday with Casme, every artistic expression this week that I'm going to focus on, I'm going to ask you to not just view it, but support it with your donations. Any amount will do, any amount will help. And what I'm going to do is just show a part of my experience in working with Sharon. And because this is sort of a preview of a Moviethon that is slated in the future, date to be announced, I thought I would just focus on particularly the different type of help that she has assisted me with in basically learning about filmmaking in our television season of 11/11/11 project. So Just Divorce was one of those products that I wrote on and helped with. We have a second episode, and I want to show you that episode, and I will be back. Well, I may continue to talk because I don't want any dead time because I forgot I had to find it. It's really interesting. You can go to studio11films.com and find the second episode. And so I'm going to do that right now. So like I said, there's a GoFundMe that is started by Alicia Kauser, who's also one of her mentees, who now runs her own production companies and have a number of successful movies. Sharon's definitely been the mentees to filmmakers in Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond. She actually ran a production assistant training that produced great short films and the movie Misguided Behavior, which hopefully will also be a part of our future Movieathon, where she was training people in Las Vegas, mostly high school and college students, in the art of being production assistants and filmmaking. And the type of films that were made were about bullying, were about disconnection through social media, so as well as about the importance of voting, where I got to be an associate producer on that one with the movie Two Roads that was also nominated for some awards. So let's see, I'm going to get back to getting to episode 2 of Just Divorce. And I was going to start with something a little bit more serious, but you know what? I need to laugh today. Y'all need to laugh. You know what? It's called Hump Wednesday, but I don't see no humps around here. I am about hope. So this is Hope Wednesday. I know my name is Hope too. Shoot me. But I love my name, and it inspires. So this is what I'm hoping will inspire you today as you get ready for lunch. And so what I'm going to do is just go to the website, Studio 11 Films, because of course everything I set up to just go quickly is not working. And again, you should check out more work of making movies that matter with Studio 11 Films by going to studio11films.com. You'll also see some movies on there that you can purchase on different retailers online. And I'll talk about that a little bit later, but let's get down to it. There we go. Episode 2. And I think you may see some people you may have recognized. This was filmed several years ago. I want to say maybe 5-6 years ago, and some of these people have made some great inroads. So let me get it going. This is why you have a staff. Let me share the screen. We're going to Studio 11. There we go. Okay.
Of course, I'm looking forward to what I take tomorrow, Mr. Washington. You sound so doggone sexy. Mr. Washburn, are you reason? Or is that some sexy noise I don't know about? Teeth in, Mr. Washburn. No, I can't meet you, Mr. Washburn. I run a support group. Yes, and they're meeting here in a few minutes. The ladies are sexy and lovable. Take my name, Robin. Yeah, she's my white soul sister. She's always on time.
Marilyn, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, see? That was her. Yeah, she went through an ugly divorce. She got caught cheating with her trainer. No, get this. Her trainer was a female. I guess she was going through a lesbian experimental phase. I mean, we all went through that in college. I mean, women, they do that. Usually when they're younger. Anyway, Robin is dealing with all these type of questions like, am I a lesbian? Do I like men? Am I married? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But what I really know, everything she stuck behind. Then there is the victory jumps. Now that's our old girl. Her husband left her because she wanted to become a rapper.
Why it doesn't start until victory arrives?
Now my little sister, she's part of the group too. Yeah, her name is Sharon. I don't know if her booty looks better than mine. And if it does, she's only partially. She's my half sister. She's moving in England. Okay, cool. The last one? The Joy Sisters group? Yeah, that was Victor's friend. I don't even know her name. Yeah, she goes by Ya or I think it's I don't know if she's like an ex-con or a prison baby. Like, I don't know her name. No one knows. All we know is that she's not her husband. These women need so much help. If it was up to them, they would want to meet for at least another 30 more years.
Marilyn, we need to disband the group. What? Why? Well, because a lot of the great people are not with us anymore. Riri and Summer and Leslie and Sue.
We used to have all those sexy, fine men in our class. You're not fine like just out or nothing. Just like fine, like spiritual. Fine.
So listen, what happened to all the really
cool white people? Excuse me? Darling, don't get your panties in a bunch. I mean the white people.
Okay, well then say that. Say the white people.
Hey, you're new to the group. What do you think we should do?
Cool, what was that? Okay, ladies, listen. I understand we shrunk in size, and I understand that your enthusiasm may have drifted, but you all need help. We need therapy. No, I'm sorry, not you. I thank you for coming. Guys, I have an awesome idea.
I know what you're going to say. You want to have an orgy, right?
What? No. I want to start a TV show.
The orgy idea was a lot better.
Guys, a TV show will give us the opportunity to share our lives for other recent divorcees, to let them know that there is life after divorce. Okay, who cares that we lost a couple people in this gathering? We can affect millions in the comfort of our own living room.
Oh my God, that is the dumbest idea I have ever heard in my entire life.
Here we go.
I'm just saying, what has happened to you? Is it the water here in the States?
Don't you live here too?
I only drink water from Canada, bottled water.
And why is it the most stupid, idiotic thing to do?
Because this is a therapy group session.
Dr. Phil has his own therapy on the air.
Yeah, but you're no doctor and you're no...
Well, I have 2 masters.
And one is from a correspondence school.
Ladies, stop. I mean, maybe this idea of Marilyn's isn't a bad idea.
Well, why don't you fill us in, Vanilla Soul?
Well,
I will tell it. Because the pain and healing that each of us has suffered is the same thing that millions have suffered out there. And if we let them know that they're not alone and that we share in what they've been through, then that will help us with our own healing.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Okay, listen. All right, you don't have to beg me. I will participate only if I'm the TV host.
Over my dead body.
Well, why don't we just stab a hole in and let's rumble?
Let's not fight, okay? I mean, okay, what if we hold auditions?
Hell no! Audition my ass. I am the group leader. I will be the host, okay? You guys can act as post-divorce experts or life coaches.
Okay, fine. As long as everyone calls me Dr. J.
You're not a doctor!
Neither are you.
Sisters, why don't one of y'all shank each other and get it over with, or just stop yapping?
Marilyn, doing a TV show is really expensive. I mean, how are you going to pay for this?
I have a donor. Dr. Washburn. He will act as our executive producer.
You mean old man River?
Are you still dating that senior citizen? You hate sagging and wrinkles.
Hey, watch it, Robin. Aging affects us all. You should know better than the rest of us.
'Cause black don't crack. Bam.
Give it time. Bing.
You said that old man's breath smelled like sour socks. And then, he wasn't really strong. And you know what I'm saying.
I never said that. We have a casual relationship, but that man will do anything I say.
It's one thing to buy jewelry, diamonds, whatever, but to invest in a talk show that takes a lot of money. Does Grandpa have it?
And for a man to give you that much cash, he's got to be a husband.
And if it's so important to you, why don't you marry him then?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Wow. So that was episode 2. And I know some of you who are watching may say, you know what, Hope, you could have kept that to yourself. But let me tell you, that was amazing stuff, especially given the lack of prior guidance I had until I got with Studio 11, until I got under the tutelage of Miss Sharon Tomlinson. So listen, like I said, this is not the Moviethon exactly for Sharon Tomlinson in support of her fundraiser. This is a preview. So I felt comfortable in previewing what type of work this woman has done. So we're making movies that matter. Some of you may think, how in the world does a show where it was about being divorced and it's comedy, how is that something that matters? How are you making light out of broken covenant? Listen, sometimes laughter is not only helpful mentally, but it's good for the soul. I mean, it's medicine to the soul. So it's good to laugh about it. But this show, as you saw from the different excerpts of relationships that our main character, Marilyn, was a part of, tells and gives the insight without it being too preachy of reasons that people give to break their covenant or to not be married anymore. And then it also has this great commentary that she now finds herself, instead of seeing some type of awareness about maybe where she can grow as a person, like many of us in this generation, and some would even say Hope Dims, who's now has a hopeMORE channel that she's focusing on, that we often, instead of doing a lot of self-reflection, just want to have an audience. So, but thankfully, I've been working on this since 2014. I've had some successes and some delays. So I think it was only when I did some self-reflection that I was like, okay, cool, now I can launch out. In a part of those lessons I learned with Studio 11 Films and Sharon Tomlinson. I say this is a Hope Day preview because it's not Hump Day, it's Hope Day. And I say it's a preview because I'm just going to show you just a few things that's related to the mentorship and the friendship and the information I garnered from Sharon Tomlinson. I need you to go to the hopeMORE Facebook or to Studio 11 Films Facebook page or the Just Divorced Facebook page and click on the link because you'll also see there is a fundraiser there in support. Also, as it states here, I'm asking you to send a I love you to Sharon. In particular, like, I love you, I love her family, whatever you want to say. Maybe a testimonial about what Sharon has done for you, especially you movie makers out there, or people who've just enjoyed her film, or just even someone who knows her or doesn't but heard a lot of great things. So you can post it below, inbox it, or do whatever you want to, but you can participate. But I would love for you to give. How about that? So let's see, there's more that I wanted to share, and we're at 11:41. And actually, I may just end it here, but a part of my testimonial of why it's so important that I went through with, despite some glitches and some not so great news and just a number of things that have happened, my inability to hurry up and prepare. I have my jacket behind me because I was just in court where I was successful, thank God, in helping to protect children who had been held at gunpoint by their mother's boyfriend. So a lot of important things happened, but I wanted to go through with this preview Moviethon because I want to support Sharon Tomlinson and her family, and it's such a worthwhile thing. She is actually the person who opened the door for me when I was venturing into filmmaking. And here's a little bit of my testimony I want to share as I drop and bring up the next and probably last video for this preview. For those of you who don't know, my name is Sharita Hope Demps. I go by Hope Demps. I'm a history and political science double major at Spelman College. I graduated in 1996. I went to law school at the University of Florida, Levin College of Law, graduated in 2000. I've been a practicing attorney for over 20 years. Also, during my time as an attorney, I focused on entertainment as well as criminal justice. And as an entertainment, I focused on music, and I was a part of a group called Destiny Praise, a gospel recording artist. And also I assisted a church to create entities to house the songwriting projects that were happening, called Destiny Metro Publishing. I also ran Destiny Style Records, which was the recording arm, as well as On Purpose Production, which created productions in support of much of the music that was coming out of Destiny Style Records and some other people who wanted productions, mainly video film. In that time where I was running things and also lawyer, legal counsel for what we end up calling collectively Destiny Style Media, I started seeing, as the record industry was transitioning from making money and sales of records, how the use of media and videos was so paramount and growing as a major support to music. So before it was all over, I was actually the general manager of Destiny Style Media that had all the record label publishing and production. And I was moving towards wanting to write a web series or filming stage plays and just wanting to get more into that world. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to make as great as inroads into that world of web series writing or movie making, but I did have an opportunity to assist in producing some music videos that literally was like, wow, this is a blueprint for a short film. Now, this is the personal part. They probably get a little bit boring. At the same time, I had an opportunity to start pursuing other parts of the art because I'm a criminal defense attorney for a majority of my time as an attorney. And I would literally be doing like a trial on murder, then go sing with my gospel group, Destiny Praise, in Europe, come back, and then have another case on kidnapping. That's the life I was living. So I always had a expression of creativity. And then I worked full time for Destiny Style Media. And then there were some changes and layoffs, and that position was no longer, as well as the companies, at least officially producing those type of things. So I needed another source. And I went to Bronze Limb Festival and met this person. Actually didn't meet her in person, saw these productions called 11-11-11 Project. And I will never forget it because in 2014, there was also some other circumstances like a relationship I need to get out of. And I had this great trip planned to go see my boyfriend's family, the boyfriend I had at the time. And I interestingly found out that Joker, he said he wasn't cheating. I said I found some text messages that I didn't like. And not only did I break up with them, I needed an excuse that was strong enough regarding another passion that I have to keep me from changing my mind to go to Louisiana. And what I decided to do after seeing and reminding myself of what I've seen, I did two things. I joined a group called AMTC, and I focused on television, hosting, acting, and singing. And I went to film festivals, met up with the group that I heard about, Studio 11 Films, and signed up for the next season, which focused on television production. And it was there that I met Sharon. So why am I telling all this? Like, literally, I know it was divine that I came into contact with this wonderful, beautiful person. And she not only took me, and I think it was about 20-some other people under her wings. We had people on the director group. We had people in the producer group, only mixture like me. She made me feel empowered in her acting classes with Blueprint. And then she's like, "You're a lawyer. I need some help over here." And so I ended up completing the program with her, though there were a lot of changes, and became legal counsel for the Studio 11 Films. And she encouraged me to write. She encouraged me to film. And I learned so much from her, and it's changed my life. And particularly, I want to say God, thank you for the opportunity, because now that I have relocated from Atlanta to Perry, Florida, where I continue to work as a lawyer. I continue to work in ministry as a licensed minister with my parents' churches. The one thing that I'm trying to be renewed in, that she encouraged and renewed my encouragement in, is find a way to still be a part of the production community. So she didn't just get rid of me. My name is still on Studio11Films.com website. She would still call and email me about information. Even during her sickness, she would call and tell me about different opportunities. I ended up going to Mexico because of this woman, in support of her treatment and refreshment. Signed up, met her friends, and we ended up having a wonderful time as she has continued to search in her family, support her in treatment and the victory of living in the midst of a lot of crisis. So when I do production, I can't help but think of her. So I wanted to complete the mission of this preview today. So in, again, honor of Sharon, and I don't know, maybe this is in dishonor of Sharon, I think the last video I will show was my first little attempt at doing productions. Oh, maybe two things, maybe two. There's a really short, I don't know. I'm getting a little, it's 11:49. So in order to encourage people not watch this, oh my gosh, I wanted to show you some of the homework projects that I did. They're almost all like 1 minute, 2 minute, back in 7 years ago. Wow, 7 years ago. So maybe it's 2013. 7 years ago that I did as a part of the 1111 project, and then Just Divorced that you've just watched was a part of the finishing project. So these things had assistance from other people, and I was in group projects, but in honor and support. And if you're watching, then I'm praying that you're going to the GoFundMe page for Sharon Tomlinson and give, as she has mattered to me in the lives of so many people. I appreciate that she taught me to use production and make movies that matter. Now, some of the homework assignments you may watch may not seem like they matter, but they matter because it's helped me become what I hope to continue to grow in, an independent filmmaker. So don't judge me too hard, but maybe I should go from better to worse. So this is the Moderna rough cut of a commercial, which was my first group project. Let me see. You know, have you ever like was getting your baby pictures out and then you sort of remember how not cute you were? That's how I feel right now. So here we go. I may regret this. Okay, let's hurry up. I hope you're getting your lunch in. I hope you're feeling the love. Yes, I hope you're feeling the love. Here it is. Now, remember, this is a commercial. It was a group project. I was the line producer for it. You know, the final cut had music and audio to it, but you guys, I was so excited. That was the cut that I like wanted so bad. The drinks coming together and coming out. You guys, it's only 44 seconds. Hold on. Yes. Those are actors. Moderna. I'm so excited. That was a really, really big deal for me. Really, really, really big deal. So again, I said, just trying to keep you on, almost like music in a store, so that you would continue to consider giving $5, $10, $1,000. Go ahead and do it. So that was my first group project where I was a line producer. That was a rough draft. Okay, a rough draft. So I had a homework assignment with another group. I'm trying to think which one's older, but I'm gonna just go to it. It was shot actually at my church at the time, Destiny, and it was a group project where I not only starred in it, or excuse me, one of the actors, I was a line producer on it as well. I did not write this. This was written by Mr. Miller, but it's called Minor Details. Rough cut. Everything's rough today, but that's okay. What is going on? This is so funny. I'm starting to feel like I'm doing a yard sale where I really prize things, but I don't know if anybody else is doing the same. Let's see. Let me get, where's my screen at? Okay. You guys, I'm learning how to do this. Are you giving? Please go to the GoFundMe. I need you to give. Yes, so we can continue to make filmmakers. And hopefully this will only show you that under the tutelage of Sharon Tomlinson, I got a little better inch by inch.
Cool,
He
though.
was so cute.
A stylish new clothing line that's sure to be a hit. Roof, roof, roof.
I designed that shirt.
Miss Wells, can't you see? Roof, roof, roof.
Oh, Mr. Hall. Oh, this is a very unusual presentation. Get the samples, do some test marking. Get back with me.
Will do.
You know, there's a lot of good stuff at Goodwill, don't sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Waitress.
Baby, do you know what today is? You know what today is?
Hey, your birthday.
Yes, you remember. I love surprises, don't you? Like today, my girlfriend went on the radio and gave me a shout out for my birthday, and then I went to work, and there was a beautiful tree and big flowers on my desk for my lawn, and then everyone sang happy birthday and gave me this enormous chocolate birthday cake with white fluffy icing. I just love surprises, and I can't wait to see what other surprises I will get today.
I really thought he was so cute.
Well, the suspense is killing me. What did you get me?
We were working on the audio, which was terrible, but
Close your eyes.
if any of you went to Destiny Metropolitan Worship Church over off the 1775 Water Place in Atlanta, you recognize that's the vestibule or the lobby in front of the sanctuary doors.
I just picked it up from the designer. It's an original.
An original? Do you mean one of a kind?
Baby. If you wear it, only you can make it work.
Thank you.
I really wanted to kiss them guys, but that didn't happen. It's almost over.
The response has been great. 1 out of every 10 stores has sold out.
No, they haven't. 1 out of every 10. You know, you don't think, don't you think?
Even the receptionist has been getting positive feedback.
No, I haven't. The only reason why I even wear this shirt is because you pay me. Which reminds me. Pony up.
Can't you say I'm on the phone?
Give it up. And one day you're lying. You're like, I ain't gonna give it. I'm just saying.
That's my old office, Destiny Style Media office.
You sure can. You can come in and sign the contract later today. All right. Rough. Have a good.
Oh, this is so much fun.
1 out of 10. I wish. Wow.
What?
Mr. Hall, you have got to come see this. There's someone here actually wearing a bulldog picture.
Yes. I'll be right out.
He'll be right with you.
Like I always say, gotta fake it till you make it.
He is so cute.
What are you doing here? Not what are you doing here, but a pleasant surprise.
Oh, it's a surprise, but it's not pleasant.
What's wrong? I see you wearing your birthday present. It looks great on you.
It looks great on her, too. I thought you said this was an original. I told you I like dogs, but I hate cats. I hate cats, too. Especially copycats. Did you tell her this was an original, too? You lying dog.
Lying
dog?
My name is Danielle.
These are the tales of my life. I'm lonely here tonight. Thought I found Mrs. Right. Instead, I'm here again tonight with no one who loves me inside.
We love you, baby.
I forgot about that part.
Why must I be like that? Why must I chase the cat? There's nothing but the cold dog in me.
We love you, sexy chocolate.
So this was written actually by Carl Millender. He's the original creator, and you see, this sort of cut off. Kenneth Brown is his name. Hey, Kenneth. And Warren Campbell was one of the producers. Sharon Palmer. Those were all 11/11/11 Project TV citizens. Oh, Crystal Keith was a writer. Because of course we organized this.
Don't allow people to come in here and just sit around.
What kind of people you talking about?
People like you, so people who steal bread.
Look, okay, it's a
If
recession.
you're hungry, I'll be more than willing to make you a tray and you can please leave.
Well, maybe you can do that. Now, you're not living like
Yeah,
that.
you give me back my bread.
Here, you want to roll? Roll out.
Mr. Wills.
Yes, Sharon. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. You know what? I don't care how many people watch this little preview to the Moviethon that we'll be holding at a date to be announced in the future. This has blessed me. It's reminded me of what Sharon Tomlinson mentorship did for me in my first little voyages into filmmaking. And it also reminds me that, you know what, you may not have everything you want, but it doesn't take but a vision and a dream. And she actually assisted in helping, well, I guess we were students. I used to say participants of the 11/11/11 project in doing these type of films and short films and television sitcom type of formats in our 11-11-11 project season. And it actually, today of all days, this has been like a blessing. I didn't even plan on starting, because literally with the Moviethons, movies that mattered that I was going to start off with, but now I'm going to join on with some other past 11-11-11 project participants that have a bigger, grander Moviethon online. But when I think about Studio 11 Films, I think about the movies that matter, like Misguided Behavior, which I mentioned at the beginning, which was filmed in Las Vegas, that deals with the issue of bullicide, children killing themselves because of bullying. Deep, right? Or Skinned, which is dealing with skin bleaching and colorism in the Black community. Those are movies that matter. Those are movies that matter. But before we can get to the deep Oscar award-winning type of movies or documentaries, we started off with these type of opportunities. So both other videos I just showed you were both group projects where I was most likely the producer, assisted in costuming or whatever. But this is the one, this was my first ever assignment for the class, where I created a movie or short film or whatever called Love on Mute. And it was a homework assignment. Oh, and let me just mention, one thing I loved about the 11-11-11 project, it wasn't just teaching you how to create, but we also, and as a lawyer, I appreciate it, we learned what line producers do, particularly in keeping up with contracts. Even that little minor details thing that I did, we still got the rights to play the music at the end credits. I mean, like, it may have been a small project, but she taught us right. And the one thing I didn't mention is that after I got into AMTC, got into acting and singing again, as well as going through TV host training, I was really interested in going to film school. But when I went to the film school to check it out, the Florida State University Film School, which actually is one of the best ones out there, they actually pay for you to get your student film made, which is unusual, but the state of Florida owns it. And they had a lot of great successful students. I realized you couldn't work. A part of joining that in that master's program, you couldn't work. And I've been a grown woman working for a long time. And the prevalence of scholarships wasn't as available. And so I was like, how can I get sort of like a film school experience without stopping my life? So this opportunity with the 11-11 project, 11-11-11 project, allowed for me to do that. So Sharon Tomlinson's project changed my life, allowed me to get film experiences without robbing the bank or without stopping my life. And this was my first homework assignment, and I filmed it all on a cell phone. And shout out to the friends who participated as a homework. They knew I was posting it. This is over 7 years ago, so hopefully no one's mad at me that I'm what the audience or their lives were 7 years ago is a lot different than now. So, but it was cute, and I really appreciate them. Called Love on Mute, the world premiere of Love on Mute. This will be the last video. Let me make sure I'm doing it right. If you guys see any of the participants, please do not make them feel bad for being honest. If you want my friendships to stay with them, please help me out. Don't make me look or feel bad. All right, now, Love on Mute, world premiere. I'm in my office.
Ladies, check my Facebook status. I know I'm gonna need a maid of honor. She has known this time for 3 months. 3 months. I've been involved with my boyfriend for 3 years, and he hasn't even told me he loves me. I can't even get that food on half and a half. Why can't I be the one? This can't be happening. I pray, I fast, I even break for animals. Let me love you. She ain't sweet. happens to her always seems to happen to me. So I'm just like, Sharon, Sharon, here comes the bride, here comes the bride. I tell you, ladies, if you just submit your heart's desire to God, wait on Jesus, you'll soon be found by the right one. Found? Being found by the right one? Would you please? And he was still married to another woman at the time. What? Now this, I believe. Hello?
Oh, that was such a fun assignment.
I'm still gonna get married to him. Shoot. My daddy just got off parole for murder in Jamaica, and if he knows what's good for him, we'll still walk down the aisle.
Oh man, that was fun. You know what? And you've noticed, some of you who know me, some of you who don't, you've seen some of the actors and the participation, some of the videos that have been in movies. You've seen some of them that are friends. Some of them are professors of colleges, so I hope they don't get too mad that I actually showed something that I made 7 years ago, excuse me, just for homework, that I'm showing it on a larger scale. And know that all those scripts are already registered, so don't come stealing no ideas. But that was my first homework assignment, was my 11-11-11 project with Studio Films under, again, the mentorship of Sharon Tomlinson. I am just so grateful. I'm so grateful for Sharon's impact and mentorship in my life. She's not only a mentor, she became a friend, a sister. Let me tell you something. And as we close this time together, one thing I end up learning that I didn't think was a lesson to actually have is the lesson of the camaraderie it takes, especially for filmmakers of color, to actually get things done. If you're not beholden to a title, you can get anything done on set. You can do craft services and hold the light. You can be first AD and be the production assistant. You can be talent and, go running back and forth the legal documents. And I'm really grateful that I learned that by working in a non-academic setting for film school, that literally I feel like it was guerrilla filming. And now that I'm in Perry, Florida, population few thousand compared to 4 million people in Atlanta, chocolate Hollywood, I'm taking those lessons to heart, that you can do entertainment, content-filled entertainment that can also educate with a guerrilla mentality to just get it done. And I learned that through Sharon. As the executive producer, this girl is cutting up watermelon for craft services. Another lesson I learned that I never thought I would: if you keep people fed, well-fed, they will stay on set without money, even if you keep them well-fed. Also, what I learned is that the same commitment that it takes to be on set day after day, hours, the kind of commitment it takes that to get things done in the preparation and post and pre-production and sort of doing it by hook or crook or gas card, and the relationships that I made, that kind of commitment extends in other areas. So here I was, someone who's a lawyer and minister who used to run a gospel media group, wanting to sort of start all over with a career idea while still being gainfully employed and working in ministry. And I connect with a woman named Sharon Tomlinson, who opened doors and then tried to add me to everything she did when it came to filmmaking. In 2017, actually, I'm on my 4-year anniversary, right? 18, 19, 20, third year anniversary. I had a heart attack, and I was at the Emory Hospital, and my best friends in law, ministry, and life, and college, many of them were able to come to the hospital when I got there. It happened on a Saturday. Sharon was in the middle of post-production for a very important movie that she was working on. And she called, like many other friends who are very busy. My friends are ambitious, okay? So we have low maintenance. If you can't be there, we understand. And I understood, like, gosh, she's busy, but she called me. And for those of you who don't know much about the situation I had, it wasn't heart disease, but it's in the category of heart attacks, but it wasn't heart disease. Anyway, I had a friend who passed away from a procedure that was supposed to be outpatient a few years before. And when I realized that I would have to have probably a similar procedure on my heart, I was totally fine with it at first. And I even told my parents, don't rush up here, you'll be fine. But then they pushed up that time. And I started freaking out as I was signing out the waivers that, sudden death can happen, all these kind of things. And I was really like freaking out. But by this time, late at night, people were gone home. I didn't want to worry anybody. And I get a knock on my door. And it's really late at the hospital. And who was there? Sharon Tomlinson. With her, I think she had 2 laptops with her camera phone. And she came in and set up shop in my room. And like almost a mother, she watched over me that night while she was working on post-production of a movie. So imagine, I'm in the room. When you're at the hospital, often you get woken up at different times of night to take blood. And for me, taking blood was terrible. The IVs were, I was always, clogging up the IVs. So I'm being woken up in the middle of the night. I'm not staying up all night. I'm not talking. There's nothing she's saying to me necessarily, but I'm just aware that she's there and she's working. If you know Sharon, she's working. She often works. But she spent the night with me and watched over me. And her presence made the difference. Because when they would wake me up to take my blood, I sometimes really, really had a hard time. And then she would put her top down and just hold my hand. Again, not a lot of talking. And then they would take the blood and then I'll go to sleep. And the next morning I woke up and she was gone. She was gone. She came and stayed up all night to be with me, to give me her presence. That same commitment to her films and to her filmmakers that she trained. She would go without food. She would go without rest. She had her son DJ sleeping on the same sofa. God, all the times that me, Cam Miller, Alicia Kauser, just Wanda. I mean, it'd be, the memories. I can go on and on. But that commitment to filmmaking, movies that matter, also translated to the filmmaker she was training and translated to me. My last Sharon story that makes it such an honor to support her GoFundMe in her honor is a year before I had a heart attack. My brother, Corey Demps, at 39 years old, was unexpectedly, he died while helping his new wife of 1 year, her uncle, clear land. And he cleared trees and his workers didn't show up or couldn't. And he asked my brother to help. And it was just him and my brother. And long story short, my brother ended up being pinned under a tree, his left side of his skull crushed. And it happened so suddenly, so unexpectedly that you could imagine. He's my only brother. We're only 2 siblings to my, only 2 kids and my parents. Everything sort of happened very fast. He was in South Carolina. I was in Atlanta. My parents are in Perry, Florida. It turned into 2 funerals, a wake, and a burial ceremony. I don't know who knew. I know I posted on Facebook cathartically, as well as to inform as many people as possible. But again, my family and my friends particularly are very, very involved, ambitious people. My expectation is not that they can be there all the time, every time something happens, but I know they love me and they send me in prayers. So I didn't ask anyone to come to anything. I didn't even realize how much I needed them because adrenaline had me going. So Atlanta's about 5.5 hours away, 4 million people. Again, Perry's a very small town in Big Bend, North Florida. And so I went to one funeral in South Carolina. My pastor showed up there. And I was like, whoa, you in South Carolina? That's great. Atlanta, South Carolina, that's really cool. I was surprised, but I was happy to see him. I get to Perry for the wake, which is a day before the funeral. And who do I see walk through? Sharon Tomlinson. Not only was she there, she never called to tell me she was coming. She never called to say, hey, where are the hotels there? Or she didn't ask me, how can I help you? And I know that sounds like, why would you mention that? Sometimes when you're in so much pain or something's happening around you, you can't even calm yourself down to think, oh, this is what I need and this is how you can be of service to me. That little curvaceous chocolate drop showed up with cameras. She got with the church where the funeral and wake was, their camera guy. She coordinated like a 2-angle taping of a wake and a funeral that blessed me because the participants were from such various walks of life of my brother at 39 who was laying before me dead. And then she took out her camera and gave our family an impromptu photo shoot with pictures that have lasted and caused us to laugh forever. And let me tell you, my cousin, and this is attested to by my nephew, they were all sort of struck at that beautiful body and beautiful smile. And she was taking one picture where she was telling them, get together, get close together. And she had a cute little sundress on. And my mischievous cousin was like, baby, oh, she's like, come closer, come closer. And they're like, well, come close as you want, honey. And there's a picture where my nephew's laughing really big and loud. And that comes from that moment. And then after it was all over, she left that event. And I was like, she is committed to me. She's committed to my friendship. And although I can't be there and haven't been able to be in her presence at every juncture of some of the hardest times in her life, I've covered her with prayer, and I cover her now, and I cover her family, and I cover her legacy and her commitment. And I promote and cover this fundraising. So regardless of what happens, there is expenses attached to every cancer treatment. So you will be a blessing to her family in your support of the fundraiser. So go to her page. You can go to Studio 11 Film page, Just Divorce page, which is the project from 1111 Project during the TV season. You can come to hopeMORE page on Facebook. All those are Facebook pages. And click on the link and give to a woman who helped make movies that matter, make filmmakers that matter, and we know that she matters to us. Love you so much. And this is 11-11-11 Moviethon for Sharon, Hope Day preview. Go to Studio 11 Films and find out more about Sharon and the Studio 11 Film family. And when we have a date for the Moviethon, you'll be the first to know. It may be a ticketed event, who knows? Love you. And if I can speak to Sharon, I will always be grateful for God giving you me as a sister and as a gift. And every production on film that I will create for the rest of my life will be dedicated to the ST of my life. Love you, sister friend.